We'll be back from that break. This is Smart Means Business. Be the first to know the latest updates as they happen around town, more so when it comes to business reports, stories and commodity prices, and the best rates around the country and the world as well. At this particular moment, we are going to talk about the back-to-school initiatives that are ongoing during this time. Save the Children has joined the Education Ministry to launch a campaign in Wakiso that will help children go back to school. The residents of Masulita sub-county in Wakiso district have uploaded Save the Children for its financial support towards the development of schools and capacity building.
Very well, and also Save the Children together with the Ministry of Education have launched it as a Go Back to School campaign in the same district, which the campaign is to be sensitizing all children to go back into class after schools have reopened.
Well,
let's take a look at this one and we do return.
I have a humble request to our visitors from government offices. Is there a way you can advise the government never to close schools again? Is it possible to find ways to control COVID-19 without stopping our education?
Every child has the right to education, and Uganda has pledged to uphold this through Articles 28 and 29 of the Convention on the Rights of the Child. Evidence shows that education and learning also lead to better improved development outcomes for countries, families, and future generations. Save the Children, together with the Minister of Education and Sports, therefore launched a Go Back to School campaign in Masulita sub-county Wakiso district. The campaign is to ensure that every child goes back to class after a very long closure of schools due to COVID-19 pandemic. Why is it that the future has to stop? Why is it that the chairperson, LOC3 Masulita sub-county in Subuga Simbi, as well applauded Save the Children for the financial contribution towards the development of schools.
For your remarkable contributions and support, both materially and financially, only to mention a few, including construction of classrooms in a number of schools in areas under our jurisdiction, provision of scholastic materials to all government-aided schools within our capacity building in a number of households, stiff sensitization involving all categories of people.
The COVID-19 pandemic and the restriction put in place to contain its spread, including school closures in Uganda and the rest of the world, created unprecedented crisis in education. Save the Children officials said that they believe that all children deserve the right to education, health, and protection.
So teachers will need to do the assessments, and teachers will need to ensure that there is remedial work in the classrooms. And this is an area where Save the Children can actually help and support DEOs and schools. We say that we must ensure that all of the children go to school. And unfortunately, we know that some of the children are still missing out. We know that there are girls who got pregnant, that there are girls. So, head teacher to ensure that these girls are identified and that they are provided with opportunity to get back to school following the guidance.
The Education Department is in dire appreciation for your endless support. We are looking at the level of retention, schools that are supported. The PS, it is really good. The learners are in school, the teachers are comfortable.
The issues of first-time child mothers too has been widely reported, Over 10,000 teenage mothers are on the verge of not returning to school if no critical interventions are put in check to encourage them to do so. The boys and girls who began to work to help contribute to their family income may also not return to school. Honorable Betty Nabulime, the woman member of Parliament Wakiso District, therefore expressed concern over the increased teenage pregnancies in Wakiso District.
By the end of the first half, I repeat it. Let's ensure that we reverse this. Let's ensure that we don't have any more of this coming up. We can't continue to be proud when we have 10,000 children, 10,000 young children, 10,000 teenagers, babies bearing babies. This is what we have. And it's a key message to all of us that we cannot be proud. Let's all get back to our places and think twice. How can we ensure that the children of Wakiso are at school and later on ensure that Ugandans are back to school?
Officials said that school is the safest place for children outside home. Save the Children with the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Education and Sports, partners across the country, donor partners and the UN are working hard to ensure that this return to learning is safe for teachers, for students and for parents.
Well, and when you look at this, the Safe Children together with the Ministry of Education, let's say, go back to school. We've had a number of initiatives and bigger questions that will these students or children get back to school?
It's okay, you can say children as many times as you want.
Because, I mean, look at the situation where some of them have got the opportunity to make some money during the lockdown. The last 2 years, they've been making a lot of money. Some of them have been maybe selling masks on the streets, earning some money out of them. Some have been selling boiled eggs, others venturing in serious businesses, earning serious money. And one would say it was actually a shocker to some people to see a number of students getting back to school. You look at someone so mature, yet wearing a uniform at a time, and you're like, wait.
Yeah, and that aside also, just to add on to supplement there, I'm having reports and feedback. I try to follow up with different people, different friends who have got children in school, who have got learners from different schools actually around the country. So this is what is now happening in schools actually. Around primary levels, there's now these are pupils that have come, you know, they say charity begins at home. These are pupils that have had accountabilities on a lot of scenarios and environment that has changed their perceptions, that has changed their mind setting, that has changed even their physical appearances. So in schools right now, I'm getting feedback that there is actually the amount of bullying is raising and teasing among the fellows. Because some students or some pupils were humble and now they are being, teased around. And also this comes when students, learners, let me just generalize them as learners, have got a lot of new characters in them that they have implanted in them. People have been watching films, they have gained violence among their mind, they have mentally been perturbed. So there is a lot of violence actually in schools, and these cases are not being reported in media, but it's a feedback from parents and from friends, that those who have learners actually. So this happens to be growing at a very critical rate. So to me also, if this campaign is going into saving children get back to class, how about those ones who are already in class and trying, to make sure they attain education, but at some point there is another section of learners that is actually trying to now interrupt their schooling. There is a lot of bullying, there is a lot of fights. Because they're already mentally perturbed. I don't know. So to me, this campaign can further go to different schools and help learners try to gather their minds together, collect them back, because a lot is happening now in schools and it's being silently hidden around.
Even said we really need to pray for the teachers. Praying.
Okay.
Because according to the way some of the students went back, the level of maturity in terms of the body changes that happened, you see, it becomes very difficult.
Praying for
to
the
actually,
teachers.
yeah, it becomes
I
very
know the
difficult.
angle you're going to.
It actually becomes very difficult for a teacher to actually discipline a certain student, because the student would feel like I am
He's
way
old
too old to be
caned or to be, you know.
to be, yes. So a lot of things in there.
Where is the teacher?
You see a teacher
Where is
standing
the
up
teacher now? I
and
just
the student
remembered
is
that
more,
video clip of where is the teacher when he's on top. Where is the teacher now? But away from that, you're very well right that some, you know, have developed muscles. I mean, they're now called gentlemen. They call themselves gentlemen in schools. They don't want to be corrected, number one. Correction is a very high degree of intense, and also it should be taken on a humanitarian response and perspective. In case you miss an element of discipline in it, you're going to mess it up, and that is what is happening. Big boys are fighting, let me call them big boys, are fighting now with teachers in school. I mean, you just tell him, can you tuck in? This
because
particular.
big boys.
So all this, to me, it should at least derive. There should be also campaigns in related to keeping children in, not going to school now. How about keeping them in school? Because these things are going to lead you astray. I mean, suspensions are going to increase. At some point, some parents can get tired of your behavior and say, you know what? That's enough for you, Sonko. You have disturbed me a lot. How about you just go and do whatever you want? So to me, I thank the Save the Children and the Ministry of Education on this one, but also more emphasis should be put on how learners should really attain class effectively and be left in school for future and further studies.
All right. And we do hope that these initiatives will help students get back to school because that is very important. And we hope that these students can definitely get back to school. They chill the big boys drama and stay in school. You see, it is very vital to go back, but the most important part is to stay in school.
But there is this argument as well. I don't know if you've seen those video clips, you know, trending on your different phones and social medias. So there happened to be a group of girls, a group of young girls, they're in school, I mean. So, you know, schools hold assemblies and parades. Maybe there is that entertainment way of life in there. And then they're dancing to the hits that are hitting up in the country. And to me, I didn't really buy the idea of, you know, girls twerking, going in there. I mean, dancing, those expressions, they were all showing up. And this is a school environment. Away from that, I had also a video clip where the lady was holding a mineral water bottle and is like dancing to it on dancing to alcohol songs. Don't sip my alcohol. What? I mean, this is a school setting. How are we going to make sure we drive off the minds, the mind of a child who has been home watching alcohol-oriented pictures, watching sexually oriented, watching dubious acts on TV, and then we bring that, we transfer the same environment that they have been in to a school, because in the wish of, you know, wanting to get them to the mood slowly by slowly, that's not going to work. Truly. You're going to spoil children because this one is a one Sonko who is in that particular lane that has been watching dubious acts and all that immorality activities, and you're bringing it to an assembly for everyone to see. Even the one in P1 is going to encounter that. I mean, where are we heading? So schools, let the ministry here try to mitigate and find ways on how really they can correct such activities of sexual immoralities in school.
And with that, truly, we can definitely say till then. And
yes.
we want to say...
In case you like my look right here, you can always have it at Galilaya Plaza. You will find Hafi there and Farida Mlongo Portable. We'll surely give you the look I look. Plaza Level 7 and Room 511. And I'm Rita Cabanyoro. Catch me up on my different social media platforms at Rita Cabanyoro.
And definitely, the baby mama got the outfits rolling for the weekend for me as well. And you can definitely try to look at your baby mama to see that you look this dope for the weekend setting. I'm Joram Paul Song on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. This is Smart Means Business.
Coming up shortly is Fred Makubuya with UG Tukole. It's a bye from us.